Welcome to another episode of Game Time, presented this week by Visit Albuquerque. I'm JP Murrieta, and this week we're at Sandia Prep, home of the Sun Devils and their boys basketball team. Sitting alongside me is head coach Damian Segura. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, JP.
The basketball season is underway. What have you learned from your group so far? What kind of team do you have?
So we have a mix. We're still very young. We only have a few seniors in the program, but we have some varsity experience. We have guys with actually starting our third or possibly even fourth year on varsity. So we have an interesting mix of both young in terms of classification, but some experience coming back.
Have you been able to tell kind of how your classification is going to shake out, teams to beat, that sort of stuff? I know it's still early in the season, but kind of.
Well, you know, we have Robertson's a defending champion, so they're always going to be somebody to contend with because they have a heck of a tradition up there. St. Mike's has a tradition that goes back literally a century, so they're good every year. We have a heck of a district this year. You know, we have Bosque, who's very, very good, and East Mountain, who's really good in our district as well. Cottonwood's up and coming, and Cuba's always a handful, especially when we have to play them out there.
You're a guy who's familiar with basketball. You coached so long over at St. Pius, won multiple state titles over there. What's the difference between coaching at St. Pius and coaching at Sandia Prep?
Probably just me as a coach, just being a little bit older, you know, just not being able to do as much in practice and whatnot. But these guys have been real responsive in terms of how they take in information and being able to process it on the floor. I have a real great group of kids. They're smart, they're engaged, and they come to compete every day.
Well, let's talk about some of those kids out there on the court. Who we expect to see be kind of the floor general? Who's leading things for you?
So we have a couple of juniors that are starting their third and fourth year of varsity respectively. We have Chase Kendall running our point guard, and then we have Logan Lemons, who's a UNM baseball commit, is good running our two guard. Both of them have a ton of experience coming back, but it's also interesting because it's the first time they've been running the point guard. We graduated our point guard who'd been with us the last 2 years, who did the majority of our ball handling. So we're still working out some of the kinks.
You came back to basketball after taking a couple year hiatus. What brought you back?
You know, when Coach Rivero, who was here for a few years, he asked me to help him out, and it was going to be his last year, and I thought it'd be a lot of fun just to coach with him one more time since we had so many years at St. Pius. And then all the blood started running back where it used to, and so I started having a lot of fun again being around the guys. And when he stepped away, I talked to Coach Owens, who was the AD at the time, and said, if you're looking for somebody, I'm interested, and it worked out, so I was able to come back and be around these guys every day.
Now your AD is Terry Darnell, a guy who you used to go head-to-head with quite a few times.
Yes.
Over at St. Pius. What kind of relationship is that like?
It's great having somebody who understands the plight of a basketball coach as your AD. You know, it's a unique sport wedged in between the fall sports that kick off the season and the spring sports to end the year. You know, we're in between, bridged by a couple of big holidays. There's a lot of logistical things that just folks don't even consider sometimes. That's nice to have and bounce off Terry different ideas. But he's been very supportive, and I love working with him rather than against him, like you said.
Sandia Prep hosts their annual tournament year in and year out. What are the advantages of hosting your own tournament?
So we get 3 home games, you know, so we get to you know, be in a familiar place every day, playing against great competition. We have a couple APS teams in the tournament this year. We have the defending 3A state champs in our classification. We have St. Pius, who's a perennial power in 4A. We have a lot of great teams that are coming into our tournament, so it's going to give us an opportunity to compete and test ourselves early, see where we're at.
And lastly, as a coach, what is your focus at the early point of the season, kind of at this point in the year?
So like I said, we graduated our primary ball handler from last year. So again, it's one, taking care of the basketball, executing the way we were trying to in practice. The other thing too is just trying to identify guys in their roles. So, you know, we were playing different guys, the minutes aren't always consistent, and they're getting used to their new roles, and I'm getting used to them in terms of what they can do and how they can help make us the best team that we can be this year.
Well, thanks for being our guest, and good luck this season.
Thank you.
Stick around, we'll be back with more Game Time after this. Are you living the life of an athlete? The New Mexico Activities Association brings you Life of an Athlete, a resource for students, educators, and parents to understand the challenges students face. Athletes, one night of drinking will negatively affect your athletic performance for 2 weeks, and athletes who drink or do drugs are twice as likely to get injured. Alcohol's effects can reduce a high school athlete's potential by as much as 20 to 30%. Are you living the life of an athlete? Log on to the website to find out today.
Welcome to Tips in a Jiffy. Your brakes are essential to your safety and the safety of everyone you encounter on the road. So you want to keep them in tip-top shape. Regularly performing inspections and maintenance of your vehicle's braking system can help prevent costly repairs and keep you, your passengers, and others on the road safe. Visit Jiffy Lube and let our trained technicians help get you and your vehicle back on the road safely.
Hi, I'm Maddox Rios-Bruner from Sandia Prep. Welcome back to Game Time.
Welcome back to Game Time, presented this week by Visit Albuquerque. The high school basketball season is underway. Lorie Mabry has a resume that includes 31 years of coaching, 20 as a head coach. This is her 5th year at Rio Rancho High School, and she's finding strength in the game she loves. Rio Rancho High School's Lorie Mabry is back in her role as the Rams head coach this season.
I'm still a yeller, I'm still a foot stomper, I'm still high energy, so that hasn't gone anywhere. I think you can still expect to see that.
Mabry returns as head coach of the girls basketball team, but she's missing her biggest fan. In December of last year, her husband Buster, former executive director of the New Mexico High School Coaches Association, passed away after weeks in the hospital battling significant health challenges. Stepping back onto the bench brought a wave of emotions.
It's a little bit bittersweet, to be honest with you. I do pretty good until I think about it. These kids have probably saved my life and just really helped kind of lift my spirits on a day-to-day basis.
Coaches are always there for their players, like all the time. A lot of our coaches are there for us academically. So it's important that we are there for our coaches just as much.
Last season, there were moments when she felt ready to return as head coach, but the team had played 18 games without her, and she didn't want to disturb what they had built. So she took a quieter role, helping as an assistant. The time away changed her.
I probably have more empathy than I had in the past. That's probably a good growth area for me.
We're trying to get the ball here or the corner for a shot, okay?
So hopefully I come out of it as a better person and a better coach, and I do things with high character, and I honor my husband's memory.
Lorie misses Buster every day. He might be gone, but not forgotten.
Buster has a lot of Busterisms. He had some little one-line ditties that he used to always spout out, and he would spout them out to me. Things like coach him up, suck it up, coach, just little things like that. So I'm going to try to remember all of his little one-line ditties.
Lorie knows how Buster would feel about her returning as head coach.
I think he'd be proud of me. I think he'd be pleased with my courage. And I think that he would want me to be on the bench and continuing on.
And so she is. Lorie Mabry is back, not as the same coach she once was, but as one rebuilt by grief, lifted by her players, and driven by the memory of the person who always believed in her.
Hi, I'm Chase Kendall from Sandia Prep. Stick around for more Game Time.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail. Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials across the country because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
There are always a few things you need to take along in order to give your best. Things like heart, comfort, and care. And with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of New Mexico, you'll take heart, having a local partner as passionate in watching your community thrive as you are. You'll take comfort, assured the promise and peace of mind that comes with the Blue Cross card has been handed down through generations. But most of all, you'll take care, confident the support you trust will be forever in reach for all the journeys to come.
Hi, I'm Trevor Nguyen from Sandia Prep, and welcome back to Game Time.
Welcome back to Game Time, presented this week by Visit Albuquerque. Last week, the annual Southwest Shootout and Duels Wrestling event took place at Rio Rancho High School. Here's a look at some of the action. Before we wrap up this week's episode of Game Time, I wanted to give a shout out to Bloomfield's Ivani Velasquez. The Bloomfield senior kicked a pair of extra points in their state championship win over St. Pius. While she's not the first female to score in a state football final, she is believed to be the first female to score and win a state football title. First off, congratulations on winning a state title. Tell me, what was it like kicking a couple successful extra points in a championship title game?
Yes, sir. It was honestly so surreal. I mean, I was still processing it in the game that I was there at that game, kicking, scoring points, just even being on that field. It was crazy, honestly. Like I still am processing how real it was.
What went through your mind when you stepped out on the field, lined up, getting ready for the kick?
I was honestly for the first PAT, I was very nervous. I didn't want to miss it in the championship game. So that was what was going through my mind. Like I absolutely have to make this no matter what. So that was really what was going through my mind.
What kind of reaction did you get from your teammates and the fans?
The first PAT of that game, all of the boys on the field, I mean, they were all jumping, giving me high fives. I come off off the field, and all my coaches were giving me high fives, shaking my hand, and then I heard the crowd actually started chanting my number, and that was pretty awesome. So, yeah.
Explain the story of how you got into football in the first place. What kind of drew you to the gridiron?
Right. So last year during soccer season, I actually faced a pretty serious injury. I tore my ACL, and Coach Kovacs, the head coach, actually asked me to come out and manage the team last year. And we also won the state championship. And being part of that team, I was really inspired. And I told him that I wanted to come out and manage again this year. But instead, he offered me the position of kicking. He said, well, you played soccer, so you might give it a shot. And so I came out and I tried out, and it was very hard at first. I definitely knew I didn't really fit in, but I worked hard, and that's kind of just how I got involved with it. Coach Kovacs really helped me along the way, and yeah.
Do you look at yourself as kind of a trailblazer of sorts?
Yes, sir, I do.
Do you hope to kind of pave the way for other girls? Have you talked to other girls about getting involved in football?
Yes, sir. I actually have. So I know that playing football this year, I've been kind of an inspiration to girls, especially at my school. There's two girls that I've kind of close with, but not really. But they've come up and talked to me and asked me how it's been, and asked what I thought about them going out next year. And really, I mean, I love it. If you're inspired to do something, then go ahead and do it. Nothing's stopping you.
What have you enjoyed most about this season and playing football in general?
Just the energy, like the support from the community, the team, the coaches. The energy is really just an environment that the entire year I was drawn to, and I just absolutely loved every part of it.
What's next for you? I mean, you've been a multi-sport athlete during your time
Yes,
in
sir.
high school. What's next?
Well, I'm going to do powerlifting and indoor track this winter. And then in the spring, I'm going to do outdoor track.
Do you have an event that you're hoping to specialize in or that you're really focusing in on?
For track this year, I'm really trying to place top two at state in the 100, 200, and 400. So, yes, sir.
And lastly, how would you describe this entire experience? Not only winning state, but having the opportunity to kick an extra point, be one of what's believed to be the first girl to not only kick a successful extra point, but win a state title that same year
Yes,
with
sir.
the team. What's it been like for you?
It's been honestly, I feel like I'm just living in my dreams right now. It's been so awesome. These boys have really helped me change my character. I feel like a stronger athlete and person altogether. This has really just been the best experience of my high school sports.
That's going to do it for another episode of Game Time, presented this week by Visit Albuquerque. Thanks for watching this week. Make sure you tune in next week because you never know where we're going to be, who we're going to talk to, or who's going to get the spotlight. But you do know the place to find the most high school highlights? It's right here. We'll see you next time on Game Time.